And thank you for joining me on my live hangout for my business boot camp series. It's going to be my teaching series and business boot camp. This first series is going to, or first subject is going to be entitled Client Relations, Marriage versus One Night Stand. So we're going to be talking about how to deal with clients, how to relate to those clients, and making sure that we can not only get those clients, but hold on to them and nurture the relationship that we build with that client. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my presentation and we'll go ahead and get started. So once again, this is Business Bootcamp, Client Relations, Marriage versus One Night Stand, teaching series with myself, John Clement. Let me just go ahead and introduce myself. My name is John. I'm a native of Greenville, South Carolina, and I am a creative. I've got over 17 years of experience in graphic design, print design, as well as web design and marketing to small businesses. I am a certified business trainer and coach through the Next Level Education Foundation. I've been a part of that foundation for about 9 years, almost 9 years now, where we train and develop small business owners. So if you're looking to start a business, grow a business, we have courses and classes that can teach you how to do that through putting together business plans and marketing plans and helping you grow your business. So we're going to jump right in and we're going to talk about client relations. So when you're talking about client relations, you want to talk about how do you start that conversation with a client? What type of things do you need to discuss with this client? How do you get them to know you? How do you get them to know your business? And then most importantly, how do you promote you? How do you promote yourself to that client? Now, when we're talking about promoting yourself, self-promotion, it can tend to be a little difficult because when you're talking about yourself, most creative people, promotion equals one thing. You're talking about yourself and it's all about bragging. What can I do? Who am I? What can I offer? Things like that. It ends up being all about yourself. And a lot of times we don't want to talk about ourselves because, what happens is when you start talking about yourself and you're bragging, it kind of brings on shame. And we feel shameful around, promoting ourselves because we associate that with bragging, self-promotion with bragging. And I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I'm the type of person, I don't like to listen to people brag about themselves. The ones, they come around you for the first time, they list their accomplishments, their achievements, me. They try to impress you. What they do is they become, they're shameless. They're promoting themselves. They talk about what they have and what they do because they're always bragging about themselves. We pick up on it and we're like, okay, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be, shameless and always talk about myself. So we get into a mode of, well, I'm just going to be modest. I don't need to talk about myself. I'm going to be a modest person. And modesty is important, but you can't let modesty prevent you from getting noticed. And there's a difference between, being modest and then feeling ashamed. You can be modest and, talk a little bit about yourself, but then when you're ashamed, you don't say anything about yourself. And that's no way to be able to get your customers. When you're self-promoting and you're bragging, you'll never do it. You'll feel shameful, you'll never do it. You fall into that trap, and you'll fall into that trap of procrastination. You'll fall into that trap of guilt. You fall into that trap of fear. And there's no way to grow your business. So I feel like The ultimate purpose of self-promotion is one thing. It's to bring love into your business, and then not only that, but to keep that love flowing. That's critical. You have to keep you got to bring that, cause people to love your business, that they'll do business with you regardless. They'd be a fool to do business with anybody else, regardless of price. So you want to bring love to your business. And not only do you want that one-time customer to come in, purchase something from you as a creative, oh, they're going to get a business card done, or they're going to get a website built, or they're going to get a logo designed, and then you never hear from them again. You don't want that type of customer. You want the type of customer that's going to love your business, not just that first time you encounter them, but they're going to be a repeat customer, so they're going to keep that love flowing. Okay? So let's talk about what promotion is. Promotion is basically from the root word promo. Promo basically means preview. So when you're promoting yourself and you're doing self-promotion, you're creating a promo of yourself, in turn creating a preview of yourself. So when you're creating this preview of yourself, think about it this way. When you go to the movie theater and you're sitting there, you got your popcorn, you got your candy, you got your drinks, you're waiting on this main attraction to show up. But what happens before that main attraction? What happens? What actually got you to that movie? To put you in that seat, to make you buy that popcorn and that drink and actually spend money on a movie and sit down and watch that movie. This is what made you do it.
Brandy got her money today and she went and bought her blind. Isn't that Romeo? He loves her to death. I don't know about that.
So who took it
I
there?
will ask, if you're joining us on the call, make sure you mute your mics so that everyone else can hear the call.
Well, I know he's been working like a dog.
Make sure you mute your mics. So this is what causes you
I just pay for everything in design.
to go see the movie. It's the promotion, it's the promo, it's the preview.
Movie guy.
He was funny today. Blinded one eye.
Why would you date somebody that jacked up?
I saw him swing. If you step out that door, you're an adventure. You didn't see that coming? All right, it's time for some fun.
So we're talking about promotion, promo, preview. Again, I ask, if you're joining us on the call, make sure you mute your mic so that everyone else can hear the call properly. We appreciate that. So we're talking about promoting yourself, self-promotion. So we just showed a trailer there for The Avengers, which is, of course, already out. But when that trailer first launched, that was a way for them to try to entice you to get you to go see the movie. You can call it a promo, you can call it a preview, you can call it a trailer, a promo clip, but basically they show us in a limited time, a short limited time, and I might add, at no charge, what the longer movie experience is going to be like. They capture our interest, they grab our emotion, they inspire us to think. So they make you want to think, okay, you know what, I want to see that movie. So in the same fashion with your business, Your promo piece needs to be like that. It needs to be something that's going to capture the attention, engage them, grab their emotion, and inspire them to think. That way, when that preview is shown of what it's like to work with you as a business, it'll attract that client who's looking for that experience with a design company or with a design firm. So it needs to be an attractive piece. It needs to be something that is going to grab their attention and make sure that they come to you over the other guy. So you need to, here's the key, you need to show your clients how good you are by being on top of your own marketing. Let me say that again. Show your clients how good you are by being on top of your own marketing. Now, I've had some issues with this. I'll design a business card for myself, and I may let time pass, and I'm still passing out the same business card, or I haven't updated my website in a while. And clients look at those things. They look at your website, they look at your Facebook, they look at your Instagram, they look at your business card, they look at your marketing pieces, and they want to know, okay, well, if this is how they're treating their own marketing and their own pieces, how would they treat mine? So if your business card's outdated, your logo's outdated, your website's outdated, how do you think a customer, thinking of it like a customer, how would a customer feel coming to you saying, okay, well, I'm going to bring you my money and my project, but your own stuff is out of date. So we want to make sure that we stay on top of our own marketing pieces, making sure that our stuff looks just as good as what we're going to be putting out for our clients. Now, let me tell you a little story. I saw a little boy and a little girl. They were in the store, and the little boy, just out of the blue, leans over and he kisses the little girl on the cheek. And it was just a simple gesture. He didn't mean anything by it. But then the girl kind of pulled back and she looked at him and she pushed him away. Now, granted, they were probably 6, 7 years old. The girl pushes him away and she says, "You can't kiss me. I don't know you." And that kind of struck me with a lot of times how we as designers, we as creatives, we as business owners treat clients. We try to jump the gun. We try to kiss them ahead of time. We try to encroach upon their space, and they're screaming to us, "I don't know you. You can't come in this area because I don't know you well enough to give you my business." And we end up looking at, okay, well, I've got this client here and I'm just trying to get that business. And it ends up being kind of a one-night stand mentality, as opposed to, let me build a relationship and have a marriage with this customer. Because the customer is saying, "I don't know you." And customers or people or clients don't do business with people they don't know. They do business with people they know and with people they trust. So it's not just enough to say, "Oh, I know so-and-so, they'll do business with me." They may know you, but do they trust you? And if they don't trust you, they're not going to do business with you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the 3 stages of client relations. Stage 1 is courting. Stage 2 is dating. And stage 3 is commitment. And we'll talk about all 3 of these tonight. The first one being stage 1, courting. And that's about getting noticed. So in courting a client, your main goal, or your main 2 goals for courting the client, And there's a difference between courting them and dating them. In courting the client, your main two goals are one, making a connection, and two, creating familiarity. And you think about it, like I said, as kind of like dating. When you're in the dating game and you're single and you're out and you're looking and you're like, okay, I'm courting. I'm in that process where I'm making connections with different people and I'm creating familiarity with these different people, finding out, okay, well, what do we have in common? What do we like that's similar? So in that courting process, you're trying to get the attention of someone who looks attractive to you. You're hoping they'll pay attention, and you're hoping that they'll see how amazing you are. It's just like I said, like dating. You want this person or this client to be so impressed that they'll feel like fools if they don't call you because they missed out on a great opportunity. It's just like when a guy goes out, he's scoping, he's looking, and he's like, okay, I'm the stuff. He's popping his collar, he's dressed nice, he's got on his cologne. He's like, okay, I'm trying to make a connection. That's how you do in your business. That's how you should do in your business. You're looking for both audiences. You're looking for in both situations some type of commitment that's going to be healthy, that's going to be loving, and something that both of you can create value from each other. Like I said, again, it's just like dating. You're going to go through those different stages, this being stage one, getting noticed, courting, building familiarity, making a connection. Now, you have to do that on a regular basis. And just keep in mind that that person may not be the right person, just like in dating. You're getting to know different people. So just like in the business world, that person may not say yes to you as a client. So guess what you have to do? Keep looking, keep courting, keep making connections, keep building that familiarity. And then next thing you know, you'll reach stage two, which is your dating stage. Now, in the dating stage, you found somebody, your courting is successful. This is where you get to know that other person. You're seeing if there's some chemistry there. You decide if there's going to be a good fit for each other. And then you have a new goal. Your goal in dating is to attract the attention of your client. So we know as guys, we're like, okay, I'm dating. I've won her over. What can I do to attract her attention? Okay, I can open the car door. I can pull out the chair. I can open the door at the restaurant. You know, I can bring her flowers. I can bring her candy. I can cook her dinner. Those are the things that now you're like, okay, I've got this person in my sight. Now I'm trying to build this chemistry. I'm getting to know them. There's a little more intimate time with this person, with this customer. So you're getting to know this customer better. You're finding out what they do outside of the business. What are their hobbies? What do they like to do? Tell me about your family. Do they have kids? When are their birthdays? How old are they? Those are the types of things you want to do during the dating period so that, you know, you're building the relationship with this client. Picking up the phone, talking to them. Those types of things. Now, keep in mind, you might get a no in this this dating time frame. You might get a no. Oh, well, let me pitch you on. You need a new website. No, we're good. You might get a no. That's just like if you ask somebody out. You might get a no. But don't look at it as a no. Look at it as a not right now. Because it's all about timing. And your goal should be this: be top of mind when your client has a need for what you offer. I'll give you a prime example. There's a company who they sold, what was it they sold? I think they sold insurance, if I'm not mistaken, some type of specialized insurance. And, oh no, I'm sorry. There was one example of a moving company. And this moving company, they were a really reputable moving company. A lot of people knew about them, but they were looking to build their client base. So as opposed to them going out and saying, "Hey, we're the best. We, pack your stuff properly, and we're, it's all about us and we and I and I." They said, "Okay, let's look at a different way that we can market to customers. We want to be a tool and a resource to our customers, not just always about the money and always about how many clients we can get." So what they decided to do was they said, "Okay, we're going to create a mover's guide. And in this mover's guide, or this mover's pamphlet, we're going to give you the do's and don'ts of moving. Here are 20 do's and don'ts when you decide to move." Now they'll say, "Okay, your 10 do's and your 10 don'ts. Do make sure that you this, and this. When you're looking for a mover, make sure that they're insured. When you're looking for a mover, make sure that they're bonded. Check out the insurance rate of when something gets damaged. Are they going to pay full price, or are they going to pay you a percentage of what they feel like the value is of the stuff that they damage?" So they put together this mover's guide, and then at the very bottom, they had their contact information. It wasn't a pamphlet all about them and their services and how many staff members they have and how many locations they have. It was about helping that client make a decision when they decided to move, what they needed to know about moving in general. Now, the people that got those pamphlets may never call them, but that wasn't their goal. The goal was, let's educate the customer. Now, by giving them that information and keeping that customer informed and educated, when that customer decided to move, who do you think they called when it was time for them to move? The company that educated them, because they kept themselves top of mind when that client has a need. So the client's like, "Okay, well, I'm thinking about this when I move. I'm thinking about that when I move. Let me figure out who I can call when I need to move. Oh, wait, ABC company, moving company, gave us that pamphlet. Their number's on there. Let's give them a call." So you want to make sure that don't make it all about you. Don't make it all about your services and what you can offer. Make it about the client. Make it about educating and informing the client, so that when the need arises and they say, "You know what, I need a logo. Let me call so and so." I remember them giving us some information about how to design a logo or what to look for in a designer. And now you're the one thing that they think of when they have that need. It's just like certain people, when you think of a burger, McDonald's. When you think of a tire, Firestone. So those types of companies have educated their customer enough to where when that need arises, they're the first person that customer calls. Now, remember this: nothing gets created. Let me go back. Nothing gets created outside of a conversation. I'll say it again. Nothing gets created outside of a conversation. When your client feels like you're more interested in serving them than taking their money, they'll listen to you. And in turn, of them listening to you, they'll trust you more. So think of every client you've had, every project you've done, and notice that every successful relationship you've fostered was developed by one thing: a powerful conversation that moved things forward. Nothing gets created outside of a conversation. So the conversation you want to have with your client, that's the thing that will move things forward if you come from a place of how can I serve you and not what can I get. Clients respond differently based on how you approach them. What can I do for you? How can I serve you? Tell me about your need, not, oh, this is what I charge. What can I get from you? Oh, I'm trying to make this many clients by this time frame. And just keep in mind that one single conversation could change the course of your whole business, especially when that client sees your value and they see the confidence you have in yourself, and especially that you know what you're doing and how to help them. So keep that in mind. Nothing gets created outside of a conversation. So we've gone over stage 1, courting. We've gone over stage 2, dating, being in conversation. Now let's look at stage 3, commitment. So you've shopped around, you've looked for, clients, and you've caught their eye, and they've caught your eye, and you've kind of settled on one specific client that you're looking at, and you've started the dating process, you've bought them flowers, you've taken them out to eat, you've opened the door for them. So now you're at a place where you've started this relationship with this client, and you don't just want this client to be a one-time client. You don't want that one-night stand where you have a customer that's doing all this price shopping and they just happen to come to you because you've got a better price than Joe Blow. You want now to have a commitment on both ends, from yourself to the client and from the client to yourself, because you've now created trust. You've helped them remove the fear. You've helped them remove the doubts about working with you. You're in a good place. You got the contract. You got the client to commit. You got the client to be loyal to you and move into this deeper relationship. Now you've got to keep that flame alive. But now keep in mind, just because you got the business doesn't mean you stop marketing to this client or even the rest of your clients. That's just like, okay, now, I'm dating this girl and I'm buying her flowers and I'm taking her out to eat and I'm opening the door for her, and then I propose to her and she says I do, and we get married, and all of that stops. Open the door for yourself. Why I gotta pull the chair out for you? You gonna pay half of this bill? Why should that change? Now you've wooed this client over and you've wined and dined them. Why stop? Now you've got this commitment. You've got to keep that flame going. You've got to keep that flame burning. So you've got to keep marketing to that client. And then not only that, but you still got, other clients that you've got to market to as well. So you've got to continue that same 3-step process: courting, dating, commitment. Courting, dating, commitment. Now your marketing, it's reached a new level. You know, it's gone beyond just promotion. It's showing how well you serve your client, how much they value you. You've got an experience going. At this stage of the relationship, the business relationship, the promotional items you want to send them are more like unexpected gifts that you give to your sweetheart. So you might send them a charm bracelet, or you might send them a dozen roses, or you might send them some framed art. Just little things that's going to keep that quote unquote romance alive. Now, here's the thing. You don't need to overwhelm them. You don't need to send things frequently and just bombard them. But when you send them something, make it valuable, make it memorable, and make it special. Because anybody can send them. I'm sure they get bombarded. Clients get bombarded with all these little trinkets and gifts and free pens and notepads and all these little things. But now that you've built this relationship with this client over time, you've now got to start, like I said, keep that flame alive and do some special stuff. Make it valuable. So you may know your client likes to read. You might send them a little inspiring book or an article you wrote that's going to help them in their field. Things that you wouldn't normally send to somebody in the courting stage, but this is something special that you've built with this client. So now you're going to send them special stuff. So you're marketing to this client, you're staying connected with this client, and you're nurturing that relationship. And that's more important than getting the next client. So you're in a new space with them, you're showing them a lot more of who you are, you're showing them a lot more of what you think, and now you can start doing special promotions, creating special marketing strategies that are gonna cater to that type of client. Because remember what we said before, making sure that customer keeps you top of mind so that when they have a need, they come to you. So what's the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal, 3 things: to create, to nurture, to maintain a loving relationship. To create, to nurture, to maintain a loving relationship. To create that promotional piece that's going to do those 3 things with your client. Now, the one thing you need to do before you create that piece is ask yourself, what stage of the relationship is this? Am I in the courting stage? Am I in the dating stage? Am I in the marriage stage, the commitment stage? And then you also want to ask the question of, what do I want this piece to do? What do I want to accomplish? If you're not clear at what stage you're in and what kind of goal or actions are appropriate in that stage, you will never lead your client into reaching that ultimate goal. And that ultimate goal is fulfilling that need, them hiring you and nobody else, and fulfilling that need that they have for their business. Successful promotion will do 3 things. It'll build loyalty, it'll create trust, and it'll keep a relationship alive and full of love. It'll create loyalty, build loyalty, because that's what you want. You want loyal customers who will come to you regardless of if your price changes, regardless if someone comes to them with a lower price. You want them to be loyal to you. It's just like people who get their hair cut, people who get their hair done. Once they find that stylist or that barber that they're like, they hook me up, they treat me right. It doesn't matter if somebody else who's a kitchen comes to them and they're like, hey, I can do it for cheaper. They're like, no, I'm loyal to this person. I'm not gonna go to somebody else just because they're cheaper. And then the second thing, like I said, creating trust, because people do business with people not only that they know, but people that they trust. And then the third thing, keep a relationship alive and full of love. That's what a successful promotion will do. But you've got to know what stage you're in with that customer and what kind of goal you're trying to reach. What are you trying to accomplish with that piece? Now, you don't need a lot of clients to have successful business. You need just a few good ones. And every single one of those few good ones need to feel special. They need to feel like they matter, like they're the only customer that you have. You can do that through your promotional piece. You can do that through your marketing. You can do that through the things that you do for that client. But you've got to do that successful promotion. Now, I'm going to open it up. 2 questions. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.
I actually do have a question.
Okay.
My question is, how do you, as far as when you're talking about, like, I know, I have a question, like when I'm trying to get clients or whatever, and we start talking about like, oh, you do graphic design, whatever, and they'd be like, oh, well, I need this design. Like, I always get this weird feeling, like I feel like I'm becoming pushy when I'm starting to be like, oh, well, I do this, or I can do that, or I can do this. Like, how do you get out of that feeling like that when you're trying to talk to someone who actually needs something, or you're trying to get a new client?
Like I was saying before, it goes back to not forcing yourself on the client. I go back to the dating analogy of when you have somebody that's trying to court you, you don't want somebody coming up on you that's pushy or needy. And when a potential client feels like you're needy because you're telling them, here's what I do this, I do that, I can do this, I can do that, I'm a jack of all trades, I can do this, oh, I can wait, I can do that too. So when they feel like you're being pushy or you're telling them all that you can do, I've always been told when you're talking, you're not listening. So if we spend so much time talking about what we can do, we're not listening to the need of the client. So my suggestion would be listen to the need. Find out what the need is from that client and then fulfill that need. And when another need arises, fulfill that need. So if a customer comes to you and says, hey, I need a logo done, do the logo. They don't necessarily need to know, oh, I do business cards and I can do your flyers. Oh yeah, and I can do your website and I can fulfill that need. Because if they needed business cards, they'd be like, hey, I need business cards, I need this, I need that. So listen to the client, fulfill the need that they have right then. And then if you fulfill that need, because a lot of times what happens is, it's like I said before, building trust. If I'm building a relationship with a friend or with a significant other, I'm not going to give that significant other all of me and tell them everything about me up front, because I don't know them like that. I don't trust them enough yet for me to give them all of my information, to let them know about my family, to let them know about my past, to let them know my goals and aspirations. I don't have to let them know all that yet because, like I said earlier, I don't know you. So find out what that need is. And that customer may be saying that same thing. I don't know you, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of me. Just do my logo. And then once you do my logo, then, okay, they did a pretty good job. Let me give them a little bit more of me in my business cards. So find out what that need is. If you have the type of customer that's coming at you and saying, hey, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that, I always ask the question, what do you expect that to accomplish for your business? So if they come and they say, oh, I need a logo, and I need a flyer, and I need a pull-up banner, and I need a website, and I need marketing for Facebook, and I need this. Okay, tell me what your goal is. What is that going to accomplish for your business? And then when they start thinking about it, they start backtracking. They're like, okay, well, maybe I don't need that yet because I'm not at that place yet. So find out what that need is and fulfill that need and build that trust with that customer over time and get that commitment from them. And that'll build that trust with that customer. They'll without a doubt give you more of their business. That's what I would suggest. So I wanted to, if there's no more questions, I wanted to let you guys know about my event on next Tuesday. So next Tuesday will be Business Boot Camp again, teaching series, next Tuesday, September 22nd, 8 p.m. The subject is going to be forget about your process. Business Boot Camp, forget about your process. We're going to have some really good information for you. Tonight's was a free event. Starting next week, there will be a $10 investment to join us on the call. We'll only have 10 spaces available, so you want to make sure that you get in early. I'll have a link provided on social media where you can sign up, make your investment, and join me for the call on next Tuesday, September 22nd, 8 p.m. right here on Google Hangouts. So I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I really appreciate any feedback that you may have about the call. You can hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Twitter, Instagram. Let me know what you thought about tonight's teaching, and hopefully see you for the rest of the series starting next Tuesday, September 22nd at 8 p.m. And until next time, stay creative.